Let's jump right in. Welcome to today's explainer. I'm so glad you're here because we're tackling a platform that active crypto traders have been constantly asking about, LBank. We're going to completely strip away the glossy marketing, look hard at the actual data, and build a crystal clear picture of what this exchange really brings to the table. We want to know where the operational reality completely diverges from the sales pitch. Which brings us to the million-dollar question, right? Is LBank actually safe? We are on a mission to separate those flashy claims from the cold, hard reality of your financial safety. Look, when you're trusting a centralized exchange with your hard-earned capital, you absolutely cannot rely on assumptions. You need the facts. So we're going to tear down their security stack, untangle their corporate structure, and dig through their operational history to see exactly what's going on behind the scenes. Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today. 1. The LBank bottom line. 2. The trading playground. 3. The corporate maze. 4. Red tape and roadblocks. And 5. A tactical survival guide. Starting off with Section 1, the LBank bottom line, a medium-risk brokerage. LBank has actually been around since 2015, and on the surface, they make a really compelling pitch. You've got your full suite of spot, futures, and earn products. The base spot fees sit at a highly competitive 0.1% for both makers and takers. In futures, they drop down to an impressive 0.02% for makers and 0.06% for takers. But keep this in the back of your mind as we go through this explainer. These great fees and huge coin coverage, that's just the baseline. It's the hook. When we actually crunch the numbers for 2026, we classify LBank as a medium-risk exchange, definitely not a low-risk vault. Let's look at why. Let's move into Section 2, the trading playground, exploring the shiny exterior. The absolute standout feature here is this massive number, 800. LBank officially supports over 800 cryptos for spot trading, plus more than 600 futures pairs. This is undeniably where the platform just crushes it. If you're an active trader hunting down microcaps, altcoins, and meme coins way before they ever hit the Tier 1 exchanges, this playground is basically built for you. It's an execution venue designed entirely around variety. And this brilliantly illustrates the real depth of their trading tools. Back in 2025, they rolled out cross-margin trading with up to 3x leverage, and the real-world daily borrowing costs are incredibly competitive. We're talking 0.0110% for USDT, a crazy low 0.0027% for Bitcoin, and 0.0123% for Solana. They clearly have the robust infrastructure needed to support complex, active trading strategies. But, with advanced tools comes the absolute necessity for advanced security. So how exactly are they protecting your trades? Well, LBank isn't a complete black box. They use solid, industry-standard centralized exchange security protocols. We're talking cold, hot wallet separation, multisignature controls, and real-time risk mitigation. On the user side, you get passkeys and withdrawal whitelists. In fact, the third-party tracker CER.live gives them an AA rating with an 89% security score. But remember this absolutely crucial distinction. These tools are great for reducing retail risks like unauthorized logins or phishing. They do absolutely nothing to guarantee the platform's overall solvency. Which brings us right to proof of reserves. Now, you might see reserve data for LBank floating around on CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko. And sure, that's better than nothing, but look closely at what that actually means. Their current reserve posture is just a transparency signal based on visible wallet balances. That's it. It is not a complete third-party audit that verifies their liabilities, their internal controls, or any off-balance sheet exposures. You are essentially just trusting their public wallets, which is exactly why we peg this as a medium-risk execution venue. Moving on to Section 3, the corporate maze, digging into the foundations. This is where the picture gets a bit messy. LBank proudly flaunts these compliance-facing entities registered with FINTRAC in Canada, FinCEN in the US, and AUSTRAC in Australia. Sounds super regulated and incredibly safe, right? But when you actually sit down and sign their English user agreement, you are legally contracting with LBK Technology Ltd. They are based out of the British Virgin Islands, governed by BVI law, and any disputes go straight to arbitration in Dubai. This massive mismatch between those impressive North American compliance claims and the offshore fine print requires some serious due diligence on your part. You have to know exactly which legal entity is holding your funds. That legal fragmentation brings us right into Section 4, red tape and roadblocks, the operational landmines. So the crucial point here is that theoretical availability does not equal practical access. LBank markets itself as serving over 160 countries. Sounds great, but their user agreement completely blocks out massive markets like the United States, Canada, and mainland China. And the roadblocks actually go even deeper. Let's say you want to use a bank card to deposit fiat. Suddenly, those restrictions expand to include the UK, Germany, Japan, India, the Netherlands, and Russia. You might be allowed to open the account, sure, but you're going to hit a massive brick wall of reality when you actually try to fund it. Now, if you do manage to get funded, what's the actual user experience like? Well, we have to take an objective look at public sentiment. While their official support workflows look perfectly structured and efficient on paper, this Trustpilot breakdown tells a totally different story. Out of over 320 reviews, a staggering 80% are 1-star. That is a massively heavy concentration of negative feedback, and honestly, we just can't ignore that in a serious risk assessment. When we dig into those reviews, a very distinct pattern emerges. Users are constantly citing recurring complaints about frozen accounts, blocked withdrawals, and poor communication. Now, let's be fair. It's vital to state objectively that user reviews do not unequivocally prove platform misconduct. Frustrated users are always the loudest, right? But it absolutely reveals a structural pattern of user friction. It basically means that if something flags your account, getting it resolved might be an incredibly slow, painful process. And the sheer operational cost of making a simple deposit mistake on this platform is honestly unforgiving. This isn't just about grumpy customer service. This is literally written into their rules. Forget a memo tag on a deposit? LBank hits you with a 10 USDT fee, and you're waiting 1 to 2 months for them to process it. Send funds on an unsupported network? That little slip-up quietly costs you 30 USDT and over a month of waiting. Send it directly to a smart contract? Poof, the funds are entirely non-recoverable. This platform demands absolute technical perfection from you, or you are paying the price in both time and money. Okay, understanding all these risks brings us to our final segment, Section 5, a tactical survival guide, how to trade safely. If you want to tap into those 800+ altcoins, procedural discipline is hands down your single best defense. Step 1, verify the exact legal entity serving your specific jurisdiction before you ever hit deposit. Step 2, instantly enable passkeys, anti-phishing codes, and withdrawal whitelists. Lock that account down tight. Step 3, take screenshots and keep all your transaction ID records. If their risk control system suddenly flags you, you're going to need immediate proof of funds. And finally, Step 4, always test a small withdrawal before scaling up your position size. Make absolutely sure the exit door works before you walk fully into the room. And that brings us to our final bottom line thesis for this explainer. Look, LBank is a highly capable platform if you're an active trader hunting for a diverse range of tokens. But you must treat it strictly as an execution venue, not a deep storage vault. Get in, make your trade, and get your long-term holdings off the exchange immediately. So I'll leave you with this provocative thought to ponder as you navigate the crypto markets. How much transparency and structural security are you truly willing to sacrifice just for the convenience of accessing 800 altcoins? Thank you so much for learning with me today. Stay disciplined out there, and I'll see you in the next explainer.